We're bouncing a little bit. Hi, it's Exploring John. We're going to do a different trip today. Usually we do the Antietam Creek, but the water level's too low. So we're going to go out on the Potomac River. So we're here at Shepherdstown on the Maryland side. We're going to put in here at the ferry crossing. So we'll look across the river here. We can see on the West Virginia side, which used to be the Virginia side, the takeout spot for the ferry. As we look up, we can see the pillars from the old bridge that the flood of '36 took out. Back behind it, we see the new bridge. Now, there was a new bridge that this one replaced. There was an older bridge that this one replaced, and the older bridge, the Confederates burned during the Civil War. And that's when this ferry crossing was put in. All right, we got our first kayak launching. Well, we almost got to see an incident. And we're off. Our trip has started. As we float down, a train happens to be coming across a railroad bridge. Now in front of it, you see some stone pillars. That was the railroad bridge until the flood of '36 took it out. Took out both bridges here, the flood of '36. There goes the end of the train. Up on the hill you see the James Rumsey Monument. We're down here to the river lock here at Shepherdstown. This was the lock between the canal and the river. I know it looks way up there, but at one point in time there was a dam on the river, and one of the floods wiped it out, and it never came back. We're looking back up the river here. We're looking at all the different pillars and bridges that crossed the Potomac River at one point in time. All right, we're down to this series of rapids here. Nothing like the ones we find on the Antietam, but they do go across the river. We've already crossed two. Now we're getting ready to cross the third. Let me turn the kayak a little bit downstream so we have a shot of making it through without banging on a rock. Looking to the right, look at that. That's nice. And on down we go. It's been a great day out here. It's sunny, no rain, no clouds really. Temperatures mid-80s. Great day. Great day. We're coming up with another set of rapids here. This is the one that we could hear way back. See what happens as we go through. Big rock sticking out in the middle. That's kind of neat. Now let's see what we find as we get up to it. Pretty good line going all the way across here. This tongue looks pretty good. We're bouncing a little bit. Okay, we're out of that rapid. Now it'll smooth out a little bit and down to the next thing. There's another little line across the river. We're going right over that rock too. Little bump here and there. The wind's blowing hard and moving us around. Here, I've paddled real hard and I'm catching up to everybody else. Coming up on the sluice. To bypass the rapid that they're at. So we're going to try and go through it. Now whether we'll be successful or not, we'll see. At least we're going to give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? I got to get out and walk a little ways. Coming up on the sluice. They built these along the Potomac to pass the rapids before the canal was put in. So here we are. This is really kind of neat. I do hear what sounds like a waterfall ahead, so we'll see what we're into. If things get really rough, I'll have to drop the camera, but so far so good. Here we go. If we get through here. Up, and that's where we get stuck. I have to set the camera down and push off. Alright, we're floating again. That wasn't too bad, just a little easy push. Except we're hitting another rock too. We'll have to see what goes on here. Alright, are we afloat? Almost. Now we're floating. If we can make it through this next little hang up, we'll be alright. Yeah, I'll have to give a little push off there. But we're still floating. Look at that tree there we have to go under. I don't know how long it's been up there, but hopefully it'll be up there for another minute. Alright, we're through almost. I think we're through all the obstacles at least. And getting ready to head out into the main current again. You can kind of see a color line up ahead. Now this was a bypass that was put in to bypass the rapid. The rapid was too hard to get up, so they built this to go around it. Here's a point of it. And we're headed back out in the main channel. Now we'll see the rest of our party way downstream. We'll just have to paddle a little bit to catch up to them. Going through another rapid here. We're down here at Miller Sawmill Road where it hits the canal. We'd call it the Miller Sawmill Landing. That's a little bit of a rapid there. Off the point of that, a lot of people do like to fish and swim. And sure enough, there they are. We'll just swing here and look down the river. See the mountains in the distance. Alright, so we're down here kicking around. What is this? We're not real sure. But it does look like some kind of old dock or something. We kind of float by it and eyeball it as we go by. Definitely old concrete. But isn't that cool? I haven't seen this before. So we know this is downstream from Miller Sawmill, and it's before the Culvert 103. Look at that view. That's a great view out there. This is what we're looking at as we're kayaking. Alright, we look up here in the woods and we see Culvert 103. See the opening there? It's letting the creek come through underneath the C&O Canal. Alright, we're zooming in here. We can actually see daylight on the other side of Culvert 103. Alright, we know Culvert 103 is above the campground. It's back where the dip is in the road, where when the water's high you could splash through. And that's the water you're splashing through, is the water that goes under Culvert 103. So we know down below a little bit is the campground and the C&O Canal and our takeout spot. Look at that view, isn't it great? Up here in the mountains doing the Potomac River. Alright, we're floating down here on the river and we're looking for our takeout at the Antietam Creek. It's right before the creek. We've had a nice trip. This has been a great trip. Not just a nice trip, a great trip. The weather's been good. We've had a little bit of breeze. It's blowed my hat off more than once. Once I lost it and someone had to find it downstream floating. But it's been a great trip. Okay, we're down here at our takeout spot right before the Antietam Creek. This way we come out right at the little circle there where you can come in and pick up your kayaks, canoes, tubes, whatever. Alright, we've had a great trip. We're down to the end. This is our takeout spot. See you next time. Another little line across the river. Oh, we're going right over that rock too. Little bump here and there.